tossing a small boat amongst the waves. A young man inside is curled in a ball on the floor, grasping his bow and arrows tightly. Closing his eyes, he prays for the storm to pass. There is no light, no way to see the path ahead. The wolf of the old god saw to that when he devoured the sun and moon. The young man's name was Logi, meaning fire, and his journey was to burn the old god. His refusal to die and let the cycle start anew had brought about the world's decay, throwing the world into chaos and an eternal frost. Logi came from a family whose job was to keep the gods in check. Logi's mother, Eldir, was meant to teach him how to use his family's magical bow and arrow to slay the gods if they ever got out of hand. But she passed on before she could share her knowledge with her son. But she passed on her knowledge of the gods themselves. The god of the hunt, Sult, a giant. The god of the sea, Blair, a beautiful mermaid. The god of the harvest, Matur, and the god of the sky, Briss. Lastly, the most powerful god-king of all the gods, Alir Feor, with his trusty wolf at his side. Other gods knew it was their time to pass on. Alir Feor refused and decided he must live, as he would be the captain to decide the course of all humans. Logi's boat continued to be tossed by the waves. He could see a clearing in the distance. The boat continued to fight against the waves until it landed against the rocks. Logi jumped out of the boat and landed on the shore to a mix of rocks and sand. He was hurt, but he could move. He gathered his bow and other belongings and made his way toward the inner island.
Yes! I made it. I'm here. Mother, at long last I can put an end to the gods and we can restore balance. But where to begin?
Logi collapsed, so tired from the long journey, but there was no time to rest. He would have to be strong. He collected sticks and began to create a fire, using the old magic his mother had taught him. After some time, he created fire, and with his tools, created shelter for himself in the deep, dark, pitch black.
Mother, I don't know how I am supposed to do what I have to do. All this seems too much.
He takes a long breath in.
Step 1, build shelter. Step 2, prepare. Step 3, bring back the light. And burn the old god.
Set to work, building his tent. He speaks the old magic and creates his light as he bundles in. He hears the sounds of wolves howling in the darkness. Once the howling finally dies down, he falls asleep. He awakens to a sunny day and sees his mother in the distance. He begins to chase after her. Why would she be here?
Mother! Wait! Please!
He continues to chase as she goes further and further away. As he runs and finally catches up to her, she turns and puffs into a cloud of smoke.
Please, don't leave me here.
He reaches down and sees the symbol of his people, the flame burning forever brightly. He closes his eyes and hears a wolf howling in the distance.
What was that?
He grabs his bow and casts a flame spell to the area around him so he can see.
Did he send his minions on me?
These are the island wolves. When the sun and moon died, it made little difference. Now they could eat and hunt whatever they pleased. Logi would be prey if he doesn't act quickly enough.
Come, beast. Come. I am ready.
He takes a breath and draws his arrow. As 3 wolves come towards him, he fires, hitting each wolf directly between the eyes.
I can do this, Mother. You did not leave me.
The old god sits in his chambers in the center of a room surrounded by empty thrones. He is the only one left. His trusty wolf sits at his side.
I am giver and bringer of life. I make it grow. The ice that comes is not because of me. It must be something else.
He stands up, looks up towards his massive ceiling, and casts a spell.
It cannot be my doing that causes this decay. My wolf may have eaten the sun and moon, but that was because the people did not deserve the light I gave them. They meant to cast me aside.
He senses the death of his wolves.
What is this? Is someone here? Does someone challenge me?
Logi makes his way through the harsh island, overcoming snow and creatures of all manner. He will not fall back. He will not lose. He can do this. He makes his way towards the island center, standing before a massive fortress covered in blue ice. It was different from the ice around him. This felt like this was a god's magic. He casts his own magic, using fire to make his way into the fortress. He finds his way to the massive chamber and sees the old god. Before he can act, the wolf sprints at him, knocking him into the wall. The old god raises his hand and casts magic, pinning him up against the wall.
What brings you here, my little friend?
I am here to bring forth the renewal to start the cycle anew.
I am breaker of chains. It is by my hand that life grows and flourishes. Who are you to dictate the natural order of things?
You may break the chains and the wheel, but what will you leave? Your refusal to die taints this land you say you love so much.
It is not my doing that the ice kills as it touches. I did not bring forth this plague. You did! It must be your kind!
Why would we destroy our home?
You wanted my power, so the world turned its back on you. It's why I took your light, your moon. You did not deserve these things.
No. Your refusal to die taints this land. It has already taken your heart. You may have loved once, but you don't love anymore. You hate that you are not needed. You hate that new gods will take your place.
How dare you!
The old god begins to use his magic as Logi's eyes glow red and flames shoot from his hands, melting away his ice bindings. Logi sees his mother in his mind. She erupts into flames and slowly burns away, giving him all of her power.
When I was young, my mother taught me to wield the bow and draw the flame. I draw that flame directly towards your heart. For this world I love so much. For my mother, who gave me everything.
Logi grabs his bow, turns, draws a flame arrow, and shoots it directly into the heart of the old god. He burns, he screams, he dies. Logi turns his attention to the wolf. He sticks out his hand.
It's okay. Come to me, boy.
The wolf comes to Logi, enchanted by the flame. Logi pets his head.
Your master may be gone, but the world is yours to live in. Let me show you.
Logi and the wolf walk out of the chamber, the ice melting away all around them. Logi turns to the wolf and nods. As the wolf's eyes glow blue, he darts into the sky and recreates the sun and the moon. Light comes back to the world.
Thank you, my friend.
The wolf comes back down to Logi's side.
The world. It is beautiful again.
As Logi leaves, he sees a baby wrapped in light, his eyes blue. The cycle has started again. The new god will take the place of the old. He hears a rumble deep within the earth. This time, things will be different. This time, the king of the gods will know what it means to be human first. Before he comes into power, Logi will teach him. He holds the baby.
Like my mother taught me, I will teach you how to draw the flame and wield the bow, to cherish everything on this planet. We will leave behind joy, light, and love. You will lead with your heart, and when the time comes, you will give that to the next person, like my mother did for me.
Of all the money that e'er I had spent it